Good afternoon. It's Thursday. It's 3:08 and it's time for you to be adrenalized. That's right, folks. It's time to get that blood flowing and get re-energized. Why? Because you're here. You're alive and it's time to be motivated to live your best life. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tom Marino Show. I am your host, Mindset and Success Strategy Coach Tom Marino. Thank you so much for tuning in on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. I say it every week. It's a beautiful afternoon. I think I've had 1 or 2 stormy days in the 42 weeks I've been doing this show. It's a beautiful day out there. We're getting that first taste of fall. This morning I went outside to walk the dog at around 7:30 and I said, oh, it's sweater weather. It's sweater weather out there. So we're getting ready for fall, people. Fall is only a week away. So summer is near its end and getting into one of my favorite seasons, a season of transition, going to the fall. It's time for some things to die off and be let go of and move on to what new life is going to come after that winter season. So it's a beautiful time of year. So I hope you had some fun this summer, but it's time to say goodbye to summer and get ready for that fall season. All right, so I want to hear from you. Go visit me at tommarino.com. That's tommarino.com. And you could go to the contact page, fill out a contact form. If you're struggling, you have analysis paralysis, you're a small business owner, you're stuck, you're not making money, you know something has to change and you're just not sure what that is, then give me a call, reach out to me, contact me at tommarino.com or text me at 516-588-0750. That's 516-588-0750. Before we get into today's show, I want to thank our sponsors, New House Restoration, where they turn your damaged old house into a new house. Visit newhouserestoration.com. That's newhouserestoration.com. If you've had fire damage, flood, you've had sewer backup, or you have an asbestos issue, reach out to New House Restoration, 631-604-8590. That's 631-604-8590. And hey, they're hiring. So if you need a job and you don't know anything about restoration, it's cool. They're going to train you. So reach out to them at 631-604-8590. I also want to thank my friend Tom over at Ticket Time. If you need tickets to concerts, sporting events, comedy shows, Broadway, and you need them anywhere in the United States, contact Ticket Time. Ticket Time's office number is 516-588-TIXX. That's 516-588-TIXX or 8499. And you know what? You don't get nosebleed seats. You don't get any extra fees. You get premium seats at affordable prices. So reach out to them at tickettimeusa.com. That's tickettimeusa.com and tell them that Tom Marino sent you. All right. Well, we've got all of that stuff out of the way, and today we're going to get into a great conversation. I'm so excited to introduce you to Stephanie Cosentino. Stephanie is a breathwork and meditation teacher and the owner of Long Island Kundalini Yogini. I did it, Stephanie. See? I did it. And you can find her at www.liky.yoga or on Instagram at Long Island Kundalini Yogini. But probably go to liky.yoga, because if you don't know how to spell Kundalini, which took me a second, you may need some help with that. So go to liky.yoga. And Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited for you to be here and to get into our conversation.
Yes.
So, Stephanie, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us how you got into this. What do you do?
All right. Well, I breathe and I meditate. I do a lot of very basic things, but I do it through Kundalini Yoga.
Okay.
This practice moves your energy, and we'll talk more about it throughout the show. It cuts through blocks and limitations. It opens up your perception, your consciousness, and can transform your life.
It sounds transformative just in the exotic language that it is.
Very exotic. Breathing.
Kundalini breathing. That's basically, it's breathing. We forget to breathe, and especially when we're stressed and we don't, and I have that sense of overwhelm, and we don't take the time to breathe.
No.
Just taking that simple breath when we are like that is transformative.
Absolutely.
So you have a whole way of breathing. So tell me what that is.
Okay. Well, we don't use much of our brains, right? We use like 10% of our brains. And it goes the same for our lungs. We only use about 10% of our lungs. So Kundalini Yoga just pushes you to breathe deeper, right? We're using our bellies and we breathe deeper. We expand our lungs, our lung capacity. And it really starts from there.
Wow.
The shallow breath that we normally take, it induces more shallow breathing, right? So it becomes a cycle. Right. And shallow breathers tend to have anxiety or
be hyperventilators.
Right. Then you have more panicked breathing, and it's a cycle. So taking a moment is all it takes is to stop and breathe deep, breathe into your belly, and take it from there.
How did you get into this? What was the thing that transformed your life and brought you to this place?
So I suffered from a long history of depression. Okay. And it was probably 10 years. And I just felt so heavy. And I remember sitting on my stoop saying how I wanted to move my energy. I had no energy, just feeling so heavy. And I came across I think it was Simrit. She's a singer. She's a Kundalini yoga teacher as well. I came across her music, which was beautiful. Her voice seduced me. And I started, I think it was spring equinox. It was this time. And I started just breathing with them. Right. Lifeforce Academy. Okay. And I was hooked right away. Wow. I loved it. I felt great. And what it did was move my energy from this low, dense, heavy energy, and it moved it up. And the higher it goes, the Kundalini is at our roots. Okay. And everyone has Kundalini energy. And once you start breathing, you're pumping it upwards. And the higher it goes, the less heavy. Right. The more freeing it sounds like you get. Yes. So I felt very heavy, and that's what depression is, right? You feel heavy and it's this dense. It's this overwhelming negative energy that suppresses our soul, doesn't allow us to be where we need to be. And who we are. And exactly. Right. And it takes us to another place. Wow, that is incredible. And when did you start your business? When did that start? This year. Wow, fantastic. Hey, listen, there's no time like now to start a business. This is it. Absolutely. So, and where do you work? Where are you located? Where can people find you? Well, I'm a gypsy. So I work one-on-one. Okay. Ideally, with private clients. Okay. So I go where you are. Fantastic. But I do teach at studios also, just to get it out there. A lot of people don't know what Kundalini Yoga is. Right. And they are intimidated. So this is just a chance to try it out. So I pop up. Right. So right now I'm teaching Sundays at 9:30 in the morning at Fitness Incentive in Babylon Village. Okay. And that's where I am at the moment. We're doing some weekday classes in the fall. Right. But the schedule is going to be up on my website, wherever I am. I'm also possibly going to, it'll be up there. I don't know where exactly at the moment. Wherever the road takes you. Wherever it takes me throughout Long Island. But again, I travel to wherever my clients are, and we can do it anywhere. We can go to a park. Breath work, That's the beauty of it. You don't need any tools, really. Nope. You're the tool. You're the one that's all you need. Exactly. All right, we've been speaking with Stephanie Cosentino. We're going to continue our conversation. This is Tom Marino and the Tom Marino Show. I want to thank you for tuning in. And listen, if you have a question, you want to give us a call while we're here live on the air, call us at 631-451-1039. 631-451-1039. And we'll speak to you right after this break. Here come bad news, talking this and that.
Hey, this is Tom Marino of The Tom Marino Show here. Imagine you wake up and you've had a major sewer backup in your home. Well, let me tell you about a company that I've worked with personally, New House Restoration, where they take your damaged old house and make it a new house. For any water, fire, mold, or asbestos damage, please call them at 631-604-8590. That's 631-604-8590. New House Restoration. Are you tired of nosebleed seats and extra fees? Do you want premium seats at affordable prices? Hey, this is Tom Marino from The Tom Marino Show, and I want to tell you about the best way to get premium tickets at affordable prices for your next concert, sporting event, comedy show, Broadway show. And if you need them anywhere in the United States, just contact Ticket Time. That's TicketTimeUSA.com, TicketTimeUSA.com, and tell them that Tom Marino sent you. And welcome back to the Tom Marino Show. I'm your host, Mindset and Success Strategy Coach Tom Marino. Thank you for tuning back in on this beautiful Thursday, September the 15th. I said it earlier, it felt like sweater weather out there. I'm excited for fall to be upon us. I love this transition. This is one of my favorite transitions of the year. And listen, if you've had a rough day today, I just want to put it out there. If there seems like everything is just all up in the air and it's a little bit of turmoil, a little bit of conflict that you haven't been dealing with, and you all of a sudden you feel like, what the heck is going on? Mercury's in retrograde, people. There is no thing to play with the energy of the universe than a retrograde of Mercury, and it kind of makes you a little nuts for the day, but it'll calm down. It's an opportunity to make a change, to do something different. That's what I want you to think about when you think about transition. Transition is about the opportunity to make a change, but also an opportunity to take care of yourselves. That's why you're going through a transition. That's why these transitions come up, is because it's an opportunity for your own self-care, your own self-love. And, we're talking today to the perfect person to be talking about how to make changes, especially around your breathing. We're speaking with Stephanie Cosentino from Long Island Kundalini Yogini. And Stephanie is a breathwork and meditation teacher, and she teaches Kundalini. And, Stephanie, before the break, you had mentioned that Kundalini was one of those things that got you out of your depression and really helped you to change your energy. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, definitely. It was very powerful. So I was on medication, and I needed to stabilize, first of all, right? So doing this breath work moved my energy, as I mentioned. Mm-hmm. And after, it took some time, about 3-ish years, but I started to feel better. I started to look at the world differently, right? And my anxiety and mental fog and depression was replaced with peace and clarity and purpose. And of course, as I said, I was on medication, right? So it could have been the combination of both. But I felt stronger, right? And like I was more in control of myself. And eventually I weaned myself off medication, and it's been 2 years without it. Wow. And I feel amazing.
That is absolutely amazing. And it just speaks to how we can retrain and help our bodies to heal, right? I always tell people, being a physician assistant by training, I always tell people, like medication for the mind is just like medication for high blood pressure and high cholesterol. It's the same thing. All we're doing is helping the body to work properly. Right. That's what it's all about. And whether the medication and the combination with Kundalini was the thing, well, then great, because they enhanced each other and they made each other work more effectively. But the point of not being on medication now just shows the healing power of what you were doing. And that's what I think is just so fascinating. Like, I had never heard of Kundalini until you and I had a conversation. And it just seems like it is so rejuvenating for the soul, and because proper breathing oxygenates us better. Yes. And oxygen is the key. Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about that from your perspective.
So as we mentioned before, we don't really know how to breathe.
Right. Yeah.
It's not just about the oxygen. It is obviously about oxygen, but it's about carbon dioxide, actually. So when we take in deep breaths, we have to also make sure to exhale deeply. Yep. And that is a huge part of the process, the biochemistry of it all. So exhaling completely, that is the detoxification.
Right.
So the inhale is the sustenance, right? We're bringing in Ayurveda, which is the sister science to yoga, and it's the prana, the life force. Okay. And then when we exhale, we are taking the toxins, everything we don't need anymore, the elimination, and we exhale. So if we're not taking proper exhalations, then we are not detoxing properly.
Right.
And all of that stays in the body.
Yeah, it's a physical letting go.
It's exactly.
It's a physical letting go.
We must let go.
And allowing ourselves to release what needs to be released. You know, there is such need for that. We don't know how to release things. We don't know how, but the way you just described that, as the inhale is the sustenance, the exhale is the ridding of the toxins that no longer serve us. It's like the filter. You're breathing in, you're filtering everything out that's bad for you, and that's what you're exhaling, is getting rid of the stuff that doesn't need to be there.
Right.
And letting go. And it sounds like through what you have done, that exhalation has really been the ridding of the toxins that were weighing you down.
Yes.
So that's amazing. So tell us a little bit, you know, I know you do meditation work as well, right? And it sounds like the breathing itself is meditative in many ways, right? So, you know, so many people talk about meditation and there's this like uncertainty, they're so unsure about meditating. Oh, I'm not good at meditating. And I when I hear people say I'm not good at meditating, I go, there's no wrong way to meditate.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your approach to meditation.
There's so many ways to meditate. First of all, it's just mindfulness of the moment. Wherever it is, wherever you are, that is it. But meditating is very easy to do.
Yes.
It's just letting it be there. So I like to compare it to the clouds in the sky. Our thoughts are the clouds. And the blue sky behind it is our mind. It's just there.
Right.
It's just there. And we are always just there. We can let the clouds pass, let the thoughts pass. They will never stop. I don't know exactly the number, but we think thousands of thoughts.
Yep.
In the blink of an eye. Subconsciously, consciously, we're always thinking.
Right.
And so that will never, ever, ever stop.
Right.
And people think meditation means that your mind goes blank.
Right. And you clear your mind.
And
that it's a clearing of the mind. I'm like, no, it's not. There's still information coming through.
Always. We cannot ever stop that.
And I love that metaphor with the clouds, because it makes so much sense, because there are times that our thoughts are very wispy and they're very light thoughts. Right. And then there's those thicker, heavier thunderstorm types of thoughts that we have that pass through. And what meditation is being present in that moment, and just allowing those thoughts to pass through.
Right.
And I always tell people, whatever comes in during a meditative state may reveal messages for you and reveal information that you need. So when you're done with the exercise of meditating, then go back and think about what that thought was really about.
Right.
What was the message that I was really supposed to get out of that?
Right.
That's awesome.
Right.
I love it. Meditating is not easy. It definitely takes time to allow things.
It's just about learning to allow and learning to just be. And that's what people find very hard in this driven culture of go, 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 go.
Absolutely.
Just be. Just be.
Yeah.
Wherever you are. You could be angry, happy, confused, whatever it is. Just sit in that moment and let it be.
Right.
Allow it. Don't be anything but where you are.
Hey, the Beatles tried to tell us that in the 60s.
Were so
let
right.
it be. Let it be. You know, it is the thing. You know, we struggle with letting be because we're always worried about the next minute and we miss this minute. We always miss this minute when we're worried about the next one.
Present moment.
It's all about, and I tell people, if you want to make progress in your life, you have to be present. You have to be present in the moment. So Stephanie, we're going to take another commercial break, but what's the best way for people to reach you?
My website, I guess, liky.yoga.
Awesome. So that's liky.yoga. And we've been speaking with Stephanie Cosentino from Long Island Kundalini Yogini. We're going to continue our conversation after these commercial breaks. But in the meantime, while we're on break and you listen to commercial, if you're able to, go to Instagram and follow me at Tom Marino Coaching. That's Tom Marino Coaching. DM me, check out a post, go like a post, share a post, anything that resonates with you or somebody. That's what it's there for. All right, we'll talk to you right after this.
Here come bad news, talking this and that. Yeah. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Yeah. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why.
Hi, this is Tom Marino, success strategy coach and host of The Tom Marino Show. I want to invite you to join me and make the changes that you desire in your life. If you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, or executive that is struggling with burnout, overwhelm, or stress, then contact me at tommarino.com. That's tommarino.com. I will navigate you to achieve the success you desire. I will introduce you to 6 simple steps that will change your professional and personal life, and I will help you to choose your adrenalized life. An adrenalized life is an action mindset that empowers you to act decisively so that you can be more productive and get more done. If you are stuck, suffer from analysis paralysis, and can't get stuff done, do you want that to change? If the answer is yes, then contact me, Tom Marino, Success Strategy Coach, at tommarino.com. That's tommarino.com. And remember, you can choose your adrenalized life. And welcome back to the Tom Marino Show. I am your host, Mindset and Success Strategy Coach Tom Marino. Thank you so much for tuning back in. I hope that you're having a great day out there on this September 15th. Fall is upon us. It's getting, to be that change in the weather. We've been talking about that. And, this is the time of year too that as we go into the fall season and the winter season, people do suffer more from depression. You have seasonal affective disorder and things like that. And we've been talking a little bit about Stephanie's journey here with her depression and how Kundalini was the one of the things that really helped her to heal. And, depression is real. Depression is out there. And, this being Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, I just want to put it out there. If you are struggling and you are having thoughts of suicide, you are very depressed, you are concerned about what your life is holding for you, reach out and get some help. It's okay to ask for help. We all need help at different times. And if this is your moment where you need help, ask for it. So if you want, the suicide prevention hotline is 988. They changed that number a couple of months ago to 988. And you can just call and talk to someone. Talking about it will change things for you. Letting it out, you letting it go. We talked about exhaling. A lot of people who have suicidal ideations, they never exhale. They never let go of the toxins that are in their body, in their mind, that they need to heal from and get rid of. So please, if you're confused, if you're struggling, reach out 988. That number is 988. All right, we're going to get back into our conversation with Stephanie Cosentino, who is the owner of Long Island Kundalini Yogini. And we've been learning all about Kundalini and the healing nature that it is. And, Stephanie, I wanted to talk a little bit about spirituality because this comes up all the time with my clients. People confuse religion and spirituality. People, think if you're very religious, you're spiritual, and that's not always the case. Religion is a nice gateway to developing some form of spirituality, but spirituality is a very different thing. And I always see it as you're either very spiritual or very religious. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes the dogmatic pieces of religion interfere with spirituality. I really think that happens, and it doesn't really allow for full openness. So what does spirituality mean to you?
Well, if we look at the roots of the word spirituality, it's spirar, and that is simply to breathe. Mm-hmm. So when you breathe, you're in tune with yourself.
Yep.
And you become inspired. And inspiration is also spirar, right? That's the word. And your breath just aligns you with yourself.
Yeah.
Spirituality has nothing to do with religion. Mm-hmm. There's no dogma. There's no right way to be or think or do anything. You just tune into yourself.
Correct.
And you have all the answers. In Kundalini Yoga, we begin each class by tuning in with a chant.
Yep.
And it stimulates your intellect, right? Your thinking mind. It stimulates your gut, which is it's connected to the mind.
Yep.
And that's your intuition.
Yep.
And it stimulates your heart center, which also is a brain of sorts.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. I mean, your gut is your smart brain, as I often refer to it. Your gut is that that's where your intuition comes in. That's where your information from the outside of this world, whatever you believe in, the other side, if you believe in that, if you're in that place, it comes from there. And you said something about spirar. It's breathing, to breathe, and that's what inspire is to breathe in. Breathe new life into you. Like when you are inspired by someone, it's that breath of inspiration. It's the actual, when you think about it, it means it has such deep meaning, because all the time we look to be inspired, because we're looking for new ways to breathe and experience life. Right. And it's awesome the way that you put that. And even as a PA, we usually do spirometry.
Yes.
Spirar, there it is. Spirometry is when you go for a lung function test. It's called spirometry. It's to assess your breathing and your capacity for breathing.
Yes.
And how connected that is to what you said earlier, and how we only use a certain amount of our lungs. And so breathing is spirituality. I love it.
It really is. And it is also very seductive. Mm-hmm. So you can... When I started this in the beginning, coming out of depression, I was so happy. I don't know if you've ever seen the episode of Friends where Phoebe is dating Alec Baldwin.
Yep.
And he's just in love with everything, and they just want to kill him because it's annoying. But that's how I felt. I felt like life was so beautiful and everything was wonderful. I was completely in love with life. And seduced by my breath.
Right.
And it is so easy, right? You don't need to, when you're in love and everything is so beautiful, you lose weight, you run marathons, you clean up your act. And that's what happens when your breath is full and deep, and it gives you life. It gives you new life.
Exactly.
And it's like you're in love with yourself and your life, and it's beautiful.
Well, because it opens up and release. I mean, a lot of people are very creative who are spiritual. There is such a strong link to that. And, I was doing an episode a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about feeling all your feelings. And I said the wisdom of sexual feelings is the need for creation and giving birth to new things. Yes. And where a lot of our root is our solar and sacral plexus, right? Those chakras, solar and sacral chakras.
Energy centers.
Those are those energy centers that are just so open to it. And that's where our sexual energy comes from. And this is, I was reading through your pre-interview questionnaire, and you talk about that and the creative energy that accompanies what you're doing.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about that.
This is where Kundalini Yoga really kicks in. So it activates the Kundalini energy, the life force energy. We can keep it down low where the root and the sacral is, our reproductive system, and then our sex energy stays there, and it's just sex, right? But if with our breath, when we move it upwards into higher energy centers, more divine, to our heart, let's say. Right. If we move from the reproductive system to our heart, this energy becomes channeled into more pure energy. And so it's very creative. It doesn't have to end up as a baby. Right? A baby in human form. Right. It can be channeled into your work.
Well, sex is supposed to be a spiritual experience. Right. It is the connection of two energetic forces coming together in a very loving and passionate way to connect to that soul partner, to connect to, and it's that creative energy that you're talking about, raising from just what is the biologic need of the human being, which is to reproduce. That's the biologic need. And that's why we have that need. And, God made it more enjoyable so that you would do it more. Right. So, but adding that element of spirituality, I think a lot of people struggle with that in their own sexuality, is understanding the creative energy behind it.
It's not always about sex.
Right.
It's not. You can move it up, and people. So that's why I like to work with people directly, because if you come to this class and you stimulate this energy, you may feel very sexual. Correct. And if you leave me, then that's where it stays. But if you continue working on it, it becomes more than just sexual. Absolutely. This is amazing, this conversation. I just love when we can connect and talk about things in a very clear way. And I think what you're doing is tremendous in terms of helping people to heal. And we're going to talk a little bit about the healing pieces. We've talked about mostly the whole show, but I want to talk a little bit more about it. And if you have a question for Stephanie and you want to give us a call at 631-451-1039, that's 631-451-1039. We'll be back after these commercial breaks. And again, give us a call at 631-451-1039. Without a roof, 'cause I'm clap along if you feel. Hi, this is Tom Marino, success strategy coach and host of The Tom Marino Show. I want to invite you to join me and make the changes that you desire in your life. If you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, or executive that is struggling with burnout, overwhelm, or stress, then contact me at tommarino.com. That's tommarino.com. I will navigate you to achieve the success you desire. I will introduce you to 6 simple steps that will change your professional and personal life, and I will help you to choose your adrenalized life. An adrenalized life is an action mindset that empowers you to act decisively so that you can be more productive and get more done. If you are stuck, suffer from analysis paralysis, and can't get stuff done, do you want that to change? If the answer is yes, then contact me, Tom Marino, Success Strategy Coach, at tommarino.com. That's tommarino.com. And remember, you can choose your adrenalized life. Are you tired of nosebleed seats and extra fees? Do you want premium seats at affordable prices? Hey, this is Tom Marino from The Tom Marino Show, and I want to tell you about the best way to get premium tickets at affordable prices for your next concert, sporting event, comedy show, Broadway show. And if you need them anywhere in the United States, just contact Ticket Time. That's ticketimeusa.com, ticketimeusa.com, and tell them that Tom Marino sent you. Hey, this is Tom Marino of The Tom Marino Show here. Imagine you wake up and you've had a major sewer backup in your home. Well, let me tell you about a company that I've worked with personally, New House Restoration, where they take your damaged old house and make it a new house. For any water, fire, mold, or asbestos damage, please call them at 631-604-8590. That's 631-604-8590. New House Restoration. And welcome back to the Tom Marino Show. I'm your host, Mindset and Success Strategy Coach Tom Marino. Thank you so much for tuning back in. We have just been having the best conversation with Stephanie Cosentino of Long Island Kundalini Yogini. And Stephanie, it's just rolling off the tongue now that I've practiced it so many times as the show has gone on. So, in the last segment, we were talking about the healing nature of Kundalini. And, I was reading too in your bio that you've always had some connection with your energy and the empathic healing power that it possesses. Tell us a little bit about that. Yeah, I find it all comes full circle. But when I was very young, my youngest brother, I think he was only 6 months old, and he had a seizure. And turns out he's epileptic.
Okay.
And I just always wanted to heal him. And it's funny because Kundalini Yoga right now is being studied to see how because epilepsy is a nervous system disorder. So they're still working to see because it can aggravate it, of course, but it works together.
Yeah.
And he's suffered tremendously because of his epilepsy, not just the epilepsy itself, but the bullying that happened in school. And so even as he went through that, I tried to protect him and heal him. And, I bullied the bullies.
You were the tough older sister.
I was. And so always tried to be there for him and heal him. Yeah. That was my biggest wish.
Did you always feel that you knew that was part of your purpose, was to be a healing energy? And
1,000%.
You always knew it, right?
There was nothing else. Yes. A teacher was what I thought I was going to be. And here I am.
Right.
I thought I was going to do it through school as a school teacher, but, I just wanted to teach. I just always connected to my intuition, and I understood what I was here for.
And like you said before, we all have a knowingness.
Yes.
That we just need to know how to sometimes tap into, right? There's that general knowingness. When you trust your gut and you're really listening to your gut, you have this knowingness about things and some people ignore that. A lot of people ignore that.
Right.
A lot of people are afraid of it.
And that's what Kundalini Yoga does. It just tunes you in. So I'm not teaching you anything. I'm not the guru. I'm teaching you how to tap into your own wisdom.
Right.
Our bodies know everything they need to know. Our minds can get a little crazy and go off the deep ends. But if you can tap into your body, using your breath helps you tap into it, things. Right. And you move in alignment with those things that you know. It's a wisdom, not knowledge.
Right. Exactly. The knowingness is a wisdom.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with knowledge and knowing facts and things like that and studying. And like one of the things that I think I always describe what you're saying as it's the constant battle of the ego and the soul.
Yes.
Right. The ego is what brings in that anxiety and the fear and all of that judgment that creates this headspace that confuses us and literally shuts off the wisdom of the soul and the intuition of that our soul is offering us, and that knowingness. And if we just got more in touch with our soul on a regular basis and really listen to our soul, we would have solutions to things that you could never imagine having solutions to.
Absolutely. It is all about that wisdom that we ignore.
Right.
When you know something in your gut, you go full force. Yeah. You know things. Yeah. When you listen to your mind, you second guess, you overthink, and you, just like you had mentioned, analysis paralysis. That's like an overthinking. Yeah. But when you tune in and you shut out the brain, then you know things deeply. And yes, there's a confidence that is so deep, it can't be shaken.
And I see that a lot with people who are very confident. A lot of people that I work with, they struggle with their confidence. And I always describe confidence as how much you trust yourself.
Yes.
Right. And people who have this wisdom, that tap into this wisdom, exude a confidence that is beyond, and not an arrogance. And I want to be very clear about that. It's not an arrogant confidence. It's a confidence of they know where they stand, they're present, and they're in tune all the time. I mean, we have to think of it as a dial at times. You're going to dial it up or you're going to dial it down. And unfortunately, the ego loves to dial down the soul as much as it can. And, it's that constant battle. But, you have a great quote that you live by, a great motto that you live by. So it's go slow and focus on the flow.
Yes.
So can you tell people why that resonates for you? What is that all about? Go slow and focus on the flow.
Well, life today especially is so fast, right? Everything is like go, 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 go. And that our soul doesn't move at that pace.
Correct.
Our intuition does not move at that pace. I like to marinate and let things sink in and feel into them. So going fast sometimes doesn't give you a chance to sit with yourself and listen. And our soul also is very quiet. It whispers.
Yes, it does.
And so you need to silence the external world. And now we have our devices and it's, screens, your phone, your iPad, your TV, your laptop. It's screens everywhere just bombarding you and it's all coming at you so fast.
Yes.
So just to take a moment, sit down and let your spirit come out. It takes a little time.
Right. And you're bringing up such a tremendous point about the flow of information that comes to us.
Oh, man.
There isn't a flow.
Right.
It's constant. It's a bombardment.
We're getting hit.
And you cannot react fast
Right.
enough and you cannot process fast enough. You can't marinate, to use your words.
Yes.
Right. And what we forget is we are not designed. Our human condition, our soul, is not designed to receive the information the way we're receiving information.
It's really, really bad.
But that's what's that's what causes so much conflict in our world. Is that this incredible? Like, if we don't figure out a way, and this is like, for me, this is decades, if not centuries, of evolution that we are being forced into adapting to,
So
right?
quickly.
You can understand how the dinosaurs went extinct, like the world changed and they didn't know how to process all of it and they died off, right? I mean, it's the same kind of concept and it's so powerful. Stephanie, this has been such a tremendous conversation.
Yes.
And I love having you here. You bring such beautiful energy to the studio. It's been I think we had a good flow today,
yes.
and we will have to have you back. So tell everybody how they can reach you. Tell them very quickly what they can get. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Best way? Well, I'm on Instagram. I do lives. I post all the time. I have my stories, so you can reach me there. That's Long Island Kundalini Yogini, if you can spell that. Otherwise, you can reach me at my website, liky.yoga. And I'm also on YouTube. I have some classes that I've taught,
Awesome.
And you can try them out there. I teach you how to breathe,
Right.
really small sections or a full class. And that is at Namastef. Namastef, which means my name is Stephanie.
Yes.
So Namastef on YouTube.
That's
my YouTube
Namasteph.
Yes.
Namastef on YouTube. So if you're interested in Kundalini, you should definitely check that out at Namastef on YouTube.
Yes.
Check out liky.yoga. And Stephanie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great.
Thank you. All right. And if you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, and you are struggling, you're overthinking, you need to go slow and go with the flow.
Yes.
You definitely want to give me a call at 516-588-0750. And we're going to get you back on a journey to being successful, to finding your next success, to deciding what that next chapter is for yourself. So give me a call or text me at 516-588-0750. That's 516-588-0750. And until next time, this is Tom Marino saying, choose your adrenalized life.
No offense to